You ready? That's the confidence I like to hear. That's how you know you're gonna have a good trip. That's very bad. Holy sh! Wow! Look at, big trees. Ooh, that was sand. Well, that's not ugly. 200 feet later, it's pine trees and cinder roads out of the desert into the forest. Oh, deer with horns. Whoa! Ho, ho. This looks like the luge. Oh, this could be the luge. Everything's the luge. Yay! Oh, oh. Okay, this holds snow late. This is still on the road even, but we're going down, so it should theoretically get better, right? It's soft, like melting. No way. That's why you're out here. Touch the mountains. The tire's catching the bar, because the bar's supposed to be back here. Oh, yeah. And like, this was always a chunky section, but now it's just whoop, 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 whoop. Yep. Very, very deep. Insulated sleeping pad, it's yellow. I ran it over with my 4Runner and a motorcycle. How is nobody camping here? So weird. I don't know what to say. It's just a gorgeous looking mountain and I like looking at it. That looks like a big bear track. Oh, there it is. Beauty. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. The mountain is big. The big mountain. Cigars are a gross, disgusting habit. Don't smoke. I'm here in Christmas Valley with the old Ducfan, and we're about to attempt 3/4 or more of the Oregon BDR, starting on Section 3, because, well, I don't love Section 1 and 2, and it would take a whole day to get to the beginning. So we spent the morning riding here to Christmas Valley. We're going to hit Section 3 and try to get all the way through to Section 7 in the next 3 or 4 days. So Ducfan is rocking the still disgustingly clean Desert X Discovery, which is about to hit 1,000 miles, I hear. Just did. Oh, good. And I'm on the very dirty Ibex because a lot of people are already asking on Instagram, why didn't you take the 390? Because it has a 2-gallon fuel tank, and like this section alone is 100 miles, and I don't want to be butt puckered the whole time. So it'll be a good test for the Ibex, which is already, I've killed every bug in southern Oregon. So good news, guys, no more bugs to worry about this year. But we're gonna hit the trail because it's hot. So I'm gonna suit up and go. Let's roll. So this is sort of an impromptu trip. It's not something that like I super planned. I just wanted to get out on the BDR for a couple days while I had time and the temperatures looked good and Ducfan was free, so sort of turned into a 4-day most of the BDR trip. So we're not doing Section 1 and 2, I alluded to it, but Section 1 is 167 miles through the desert and is some of the most treacherous stuff, and we didn't have a good time the last time I did it, so I have almost no desire to ever do Section 1 again. So I wasn't going to do that. I thought about Section 2. Ducfan didn't really want to do Section 2. It's also just like straight sandy rocky desert the whole way. And we'd have to get all the way to Plush, which means it's basically the difference between it taking a full day or most of a day to get down there and a half a day. So we left at like 9 o'clock this morning and made it to Christmas Valley by 12:30, which theoretically gives us time to run all of Section 3. That's the goal. Have dinner in Sunriver and then find a place to camp between Sunriver and Bend. That's what I'm hoping we end up doing. So if we'd just gone to Plush, probably would have had to stay there the night before, and you're basically losing most of a day. So I don't know. I don't know if that logic makes sense as I explain it. It doesn't really matter because here we are. So we are doing, I want to say, I don't even know, 350 miles of it, of the BDR? It's got to be more than that. Well, Oregon is 700 miles, that's right. So we're doing 500 miles or more. Yeah, right around 500. Oh, cool. My Garmin keeps resetting itself, so navigating is gonna suck, I guess. I'm gonna have to fucking use the phone. That is ridiculous. It just doesn't want to, like, it thinks it's turning on and off or something. I have no idea what the problem is, but it's really annoying. Hold on. I guess we'll zoom back out. Oh my God. This thing is reset 4 times. It will not stay on. I'm gonna have to use the phone. Equipment likes to fail on you. That's why it's an adventure. Anyway, should we go? Sure. Get into the trees where we don't have to sit and bake in the desert, I guess? So I have not had the Ibex out on anything remotely difficult off-road loaded before, so this will be interesting. And there's a lot of sand because we're very close to the sand dunes. And also just in the middle of the freaking desert, so, you know, joy. Super duper fun is what it is. I don't even know what's worse, the treks or the middle. Couldn't tell you. Fortunately, the trees are right there, so we're not in this for very long. Never looked it up, but I've always been super curious about the origins of the name of Christmas Valley, because I just can't imagine someone showing up here with all this volcanic rock and juniper trees and just sagebrush as far as the eye can see and being like, let's call it Christmas. Unless it was like discovered by Lloyd Christmas, which is possible, I suppose. Never underreported part of his story, but this is Christmas Valley. But the good part is, the other reason why I like starting at Christmas Valley is, you see all that? That is pine trees. We are leaving the desert. This is the transition point where you leave the desert and enter the high desert slash pine forests. And we're almost there, honestly. You can see the bigger juniper trees here, but up on the hill, those are all pines. So excited for that. A little bit of shade. There's no shade on the first 2 sections of this route at all, just desert. If you want to see them, I did the whole route 2 years ago, and there's a whole video of it, or on the channel. I'll try to remember to link it for you. Look at big trees. Ooh, that was sand. Whoa, that was a lot of it. I was not expecting that. Well down. Definitely sand there, bud. I was not paying attention, too busy looking at trees, and the front started to just do a zigzag all by itself. It's almost like we're in the desert and you need to pay attention for sand. What? Well, that's not ugly. Damn. Pretty cool. I think there's a gate right up here. It's open today. So the rule is, if the gate's open, you leave it open. If the gate's closed, you reclose it when you go through, and that's for the cattle lands. The tire feels very flat, but it doesn't look flat. I'm gonna look. No, it's fine. Just feels squidgy. Yeah, it's a little sandy. It's mostly a thin layer over hardpack, but not right here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, I remember this part. Ugh. This was so much easier in the fall when it was wet. Oh yeah, I remember this section. I remember being very glad I was on my 450L the first time I did this. This is the first time I've done it on an adventure bike. It was the 450L the first time, 300L the second time. This sucks. Yeah, that's very bad. Holy shit, is it deep right here? Oh my god. Wow. Okay, this might be some waddle territory. Like, it would be fine. I'm just in the rut and it gets me. It bothers me. Yeah. This is so much worse. Holy crap. Yeah. Again, I can ride sand, but when I'm in these ruts, it just like with my head. And I just think it's pulling me all over the place. And I just don't do it well. And today, with this bike this loaded, I just don't feel like it. So, hoping it gets better soon. That's the dream. If it doesn't, then we'll adjust. But this is so much worse than any other time I've been here. Like, this is 6 inches of sand right now. Is he down? He might be down. I don't know if he is. He's off the bike. My assumption is we're crossing a dune and this will be short.
Ooh.
You crashed down there?
Yeah.
Break something?
I lost some fuel, but I don't know why.
Overflow because you tipped it over? The 790s do that all the time.
Came out down here.
Yeah, we're out of it right there. It's right there. Just this dune. This is washed. There's all these fresh rocks and they're round. This was all washed out this winter at some point. Okay, yep, and up and out. See, we're going up. We should be good. We should be good. Well, I had heard about all of the cows up here, but I wasn't sure whether or not we would end up seeing them before we got to the end of this section. But I find it very moving that they're right here where we're turning. I'm gonna just milk these punts for all they're worth, and it's gonna be utterly embarrassing and disgusting. We're turning left here. I don't know if that gate's open or not. There's usually 2 gates here. Yeah, she's not. The calves are not happy with us, buddy. Looks like we gotta open it. All right. What's up, cow? Is that old or manure? Not really sure. Oh. Ta-da! Gate. Ow. Oh, it's killing me. That thing looks like somebody ran into the gate, tried to take it with them. The trick is put the bottom in first and then bring the top up. Stretch it over. Yeah, like that. Perfect. All right, I remember this hill climb being mildly entertaining, both up and down. Okay, well that wasn't what I was trying to do. Boy, it's just gonna look perfectly flat on the camera. That lower rut is like 3 or 4 feet lower than the high side right now. This isn't too bad though. Now it's pretty easy. All the loose stuff is in the low side. Definitely at least one more gate out here, if I remember right. Side hilling, so fun. Just keep rolling. Just keep swimming. It's windy, which is nice actually. As long as it's not blowing the dust in your face. It's nice. What about right here? This looks like a spot to take a break. Still in the desert. We're about 2 hours in. Got up off the very bottom. We're kind of up in the hills now. If I remember correctly, we're not that far from escaping the sagebrush and entering the trees. I was obviously wrong earlier when I said, oh look, it's right there. That was incorrect. So some minor sand on the road, mostly loose moon dusty dirt, honestly. There's a lot of that in this section, but it's not too bad, so we're making better time. There's some cinder roads. That's what I'm after. That's what I'm after. Ah, see, when you hit the cinder and there's the pine trees, look, that was the threshold. Look at that. Like 200 feet later, it's pine trees and cinder roads. Like out of the desert into the forest. Nice transition. I'll remember that. Yeah. Yeah. The good stuff. The good stuff. Boy, it looks like a regular old flat cinder road, but it is soft. Like, it's grabbing the front a lot, like sand. Like, you could see, I just said like 15 times. You can see the ruts, like where people are getting, yeah, their front tires squirrely. It's definitely sandy, deceivingly soft, and treacherous surface. A little sketchier than it looks. It's interesting. This is a lot like Section 5 out of Sisters. There's a road like this. Same consistency. But look at the dramatic change in the terrain. It's only been like 20 minutes. And trees. Still sagebrush, but lots of trees. Sand. Just feels better up here. It's cooler too because we're at a higher elevation. So that's nice. Got that going for me. So that is Pine Mountain. There's actually an alternate route. You can see it up the side of the hill there. That's an optional out and back. There's a really cool lookout at the top and an observatory, and it's a really neat side trip, but it's kind of sandy and treacherous, and we don't have time if we're gonna try to make it for dinner and then find camp tonight. So we're gonna skip it, but there it is, and I recommend it if you have time and you feel like riding some sand on some interesting exposed cliffs to get to the top. It's worth the time. Really cool outing, and Tim and I did it when we did the whole BDR that time, so it's in that video. But that's Pine Mountain. Actually, Pine Mountain's on the backside. That's the road to Pine Mountain. You got to go up and around that butte. That butte is not Pine Mountain. You can see Pine Mountain from it up on top. For sure. Well, this section is not a trail, but it might as well be. I remember it being very fun, but it's also very up and down, so this will be interesting. I had a blast on this on the 300L last time, but it was also wet and tacky and awesome. Ooh, technical much? Oh, did I turn my... I did, okay. Yeah, and my rear shock, I have not put enough preload into it, so it is rubbing. The rear tire is like crazy, so I'm blowing through the whole stroke. So I'm gonna try to take it easy on the shock and not hit these whoops too hard, but yeah, there's some real, basically OHV trail. Yep, I just bottomed it, damn it. I'm actually having the suspension done. I'm supposed to have it done before this trip, but we moved the trip up a week, and so now I'm gonna drop it off after. I really wish I'd had it done already. I think he's putting a tractive on the back, not sure. Definitely revalving the front, but a different spring on the back. I definitely need that. I'm way too heavy for this bike in stock form. Whoa, okay. That is rocky. Huh. No great line there. God, this is the most Nathan-y part of this trail. Some of you know my friend Nathan was one of the big architects of this, and he loves stuff like this. Will not take the easy route when you can find something like this to put people on. It's very Nathan. They ought to call this Nathan's section, Nathan's Trail. It's fantastic. Oh boy. I'm really glad it's not sandier. All right, 30 miles to go. Hard to believe. We hit the trail like at 1:30, not even. How have we been out here 3.5 hours? That desert section really slowed us down. This part's fun though. Now, okay, oh, deer with horns. Whoa, oh man. That was like a 4-point, baby. That was a big one. Woo! Man, and velvety, they're still growing. Don't see that very often. Damn, dude. Yeah, another reason not to overcommit, because things like that happen. The animals say, hey, I'm an animal and this is my forest. It was pouring down rain on me last time I was at this part, and I was wearing mesh gear because it was like September and there was no rain in the forecast at all, and I was just getting soaked through and I had no choice but to keep riding. And I ran into a guy back there at that intersection, and he was like, oh my God, Dork in the road? And I was like, yep. He's like, this rain is stupid, I'm leaving. And I was like, okay, but we're gonna be in the desert in like 20 miles. And he's like, nah. And he just bailed on the whole route, or at least on this section. That guy didn't even see us. Oh, there's a campsite, hell. See, we're good. There's lots of campsites out here. This looks like a luge, so maybe this is the luge. I saw it marked on the map one time and it was in this area, so that could be, don't really know. But it definitely has a curvature to it, like a luge track. Just trying to stay on my side. Otherwise it'll be a lose my life. Yeah, that's funny. That's clever. Not at all tired at the end of the day, just making up random shit. Not me, no sir. God, I'd like to air off some of these. This rear shock, I'd probably blow it. Like that would have been a great one. Oh yeah. Jumps. Look at these twisties, man. So fun. Ooh, ooh. Little slidey, little slidey. Okay, stop jumping. Your rear shock's gonna explode. It's just hard not to. It's right there, man. It's just right there. So easy. Getting close now. That is Pill Butte, according to the map. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but that's what it looks like, Pill. We're gonna go around it on the left here, but that's cool. Cinder cone, obviously. This is very central Oregon roads, man. You know where you are with this dusty, dusty stuff. Oh, this could be the luge. Everything's the luge, yay! It's definitely got much bigger sides. But it's also sandy as f, so don't overcommit to your lean. Not good. Because the sand will grab you. This is a giant lava flow right here. You see that? Oh, the freaking sun is in the absolute worst place for you to see it. You're just gonna have to trust me. That's what it is. Obviously, it's cooled. It's not an active lava flow. I don't know if I need to specify that. Some people are pretty literal, based on the comments I see. So it's not an actual lava flow. It is cooled rock made from an ancient lava flow. This is what I mean when I talk about Oregon being just like consistently challenging. Like, you don't really get whole sections to relax because you get into stuff in and out. Like, this is not awful, but it's got an inch of sand. There's some technical stuff. Like, it's not just sit down and cruise, and eat up miles like the northern sections of the Washington BDR. Oregon has got a lot of stuff you have to deal with. That's why they say it's one of the hardest. So make sure you get the most updated tracks, because this actually diverges. You can see on the Garmin we're not on the track anymore, but on Gaia we are, because I couldn't get the Garmin to update to the new track, but Gaia did, because there's a closed road up there at the end of section 3. So we go out a different way now, which takes us around and over logs apparently, but around this the big lava flow again. Good times. See if we get any good shots of it. Oh, cool sand. I love it. Oh yeah, wow, you got a much better view. Look at that. Huh. Oh, this might be that old. There was a hard section, I feel like, that came through here. Maybe they just made it the route, but look at this lava rock. Pretty cool, huh? Just goes on forever. This goes on forever. This is a lot cooler than the old way. The scenery's cooler, anyway. So cool. Look at this. You can literally just see where the lava flowed through here thousands of years ago, millions of years ago, a long freaking time ago. Wow, super cool. I gotta get a picture. Here it is, Sunriver. So we have reached the end, there's the sign actually, of section 3. It took a little bit longer than I anticipated. Not a lot. I said we'd be here by dinner time, and it's only 6:15. But still, section 3 is no joke. So I'm gonna get some gas and some food and make a plan for the night's accommodations, one way or the other. Ducfan, how was your first full day of riding your Desert X on the BDR?
The bike is great. I'm gonna go ahead and check Route 3 off my list, and I don't know if I need to do it again.
I feel you. I understand. Well, let's get a delicious homemade.
We did 30 hard miles, and then it was like, oh, we've got 60 more miles to go.
Well, that's going to do it for day 1 of our Oregon BDR adventure. 11 hours on the bike today, and I'll just spare you the hotel part, but we'll catch up with you in the morning, and tomorrow night we'll camp for sure. So bright and early, we're going to hit section 4 and get all the way to Sisters for sure, and then see what happens. Maybe we keep going. I don't know. Well, last night's camping was some of the most difficult I've ever endured, but we somehow managed to get through the night despite a lack of comfort and accommodations. No, we stayed at a hotel in Bend. So after 11 hours on the bike yesterday, and it was getting late after we finished dinner, it was just like, it'd be really cool, a shower and a beer. So we had both of those things. This is day 2, by the way, of our Oregon BDR adventure. I'm out here with Ducfan. He is on his Ducati Desert X Discovery, which is finally dirty for the first time. I'm on the Ibex 450, and I want to say thanks to Motocamp Nerd for sponsoring this video and this trip. All of my camping gear came from him, none of which I used last night. I'm rocking the Best Value Comfort Kit from Motocamp Nerd, and that was our attempt to put together a set of good gear that'll last you as inexpensively as possible, and there's a complete kit sleeping bag, sleeping pad, tent, pillow that you can buy from the site all at once, one click, and I'll put a link to that in the description for you. But it is morning time. We are just about done loading up. We're gonna get out and hit the trail. So I cranked the preload up this morning, I don't know, half an inch to an inch. There is no compression adjustment on the rear. I looked it up. The rebound only, and I've cranked the rebound up, I think, quite a bit. I cranked it all the way down and then backed it off 2 clicks. And compression, there's no compression. Preload significantly adjusted. So let's see if I can bottom this out less today. Probably not, because at the end of the day, the spring is just not big enough for my weight plus all the luggage. And we're fixing that when I get back and take it to Paul, but gotta get through this trip first. So for this trip, I'm trying a new approach. Honestly, I've been calling it the Moscow approach, which again sounds like a sales pitch, but I don't work for them. Because it's what Pete does, and it's what their gear is kind of oriented towards, and that's multiple layers. So, oh, he already blew a turn. That's funny. Yeah. You're so good at navigating. He's awful at navigating. He's awful. You're so good. That's your one mulligan. But I've got a hard armor shirt. The new Climb Tactical. I had the soft one on last time I did this trip, but the Climb hard armored shirt, which is very comfortable actually, and then this jersey. And then when I was on the road, I was wearing the Climb Dakar jacket over it. And the nice thing about the Climb Dakar is it doesn't have armor, so it's designed to go over body armor, which I was already wearing. So that just adds the abrasion resistance. But then when I get off the road, I have full airflow. It's super nice, but I'm still fully protected from impact. So it's a nice setup that's very comfortable, particularly if you're going on a hot ride, but you're not really compromising your safety. You can do the same on the bottom, but all my knee pads are uncomfortable or slide around too much, so I'm just wearing the Mojaves with the built-in knee armor right now. So I call it the Moscow approach, but the only Moscow thing I'm wearing is this harness backpack thing. Speaking of equipment that the opposite of good is this freaking Garmin is pissing me off. People always ask me, what's the best GPS? What do you recommend? And I'm always just like, well, the XT series is the ones I've used the most, and they're fine, but I always have stupid, quirky problems with them. Like this one is just resetting constantly. And I cleaned the connections, scraped them clean this morning. I tried plugging it in USB to see if it would stay on that way, and then I was just sitting there talking to Ducfan, and it just was resetting when I wasn't even riding. So I don't even think it's the vibration, because if it was, it wouldn't do it when I was sitting still. It just randomly cutting out like something's wrong with it. So I'll try a factory reset either tonight or when I get home. It's just annoying because I can't use the damn thing. It's hard to spend $500 on something and have it work sometimes. That's stupid. And I was assuming it was a wiring thing. Either I just didn't wire it up right, but not if it's doing it sitting down. What I don't understand is it has a battery and the battery is fully charged. So even if it loses power, why would it restart? Why wouldn't it just run off the battery until, if the power's glitching on and off like for a second or two, why wouldn't it just keep working? I don't know, it's stupid. Let's see how much better okay, not much better. The preload adjustment I got way too much gear. Carrying those bags up to the hotel room last night, my shit is very heavy and it doesn't need to be. Yeah, it's still rubbing. I don't know what you can do about that, to be honest. Oh, dude. This rear end is way too heavy. This shock, it's not the shock, the spring just can't take my weight and all the gear. This would be super fun otherwise, because look at how much landing zone you have for each one of these. But gotta take it easy, because I'm not 100% sure what's even hitting back there. I don't know if it's a crossbar on the luggage rack or if it's actually hitting the underside of the fender. I guess we'll find out. All right, so they only really graded to where they're logging. So the more, I hesitate to even call it technical, but there is some up and down rain rut stuff to deal with. On the backside towards Three Creeks is still intact. This suspension, I'm so annoyed with the spring because these water bars would be a lot more fun if I didn't have to stop to go over them every time to avoid bottoming, and I'm still doing it. But you ride differently when you have a lot of luggage. And that's the choice you make when you load everything up with every freaking piece of gear under the sun, which I do, because I like to be comfortable at camp. But sometimes you have to decide, do you want to be comfortable riding or comfortable camping? And on a camp to ride trip like this, you spend a hell of a lot more time riding. So I got to learn that lesson one of these days. This gets worse every year because all the snow on top melts, it just runs down the road. Of course, it'll look lame on the camera. It's not super hard, but it's definitely not just sit down and putt territory either. Oh, shit, there's still water. Look at that. Oh, man. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess. Whoa, it's muddy, dude. I'm gonna go to the left side. Should not have stopped. Just go. Just ride. It's fine. Just don't fall in and you're fine. See? Surprised me is all. Clearly I wasn't looking far enough ahead. One of the classic blunders. Look at that! Yeah, so this holds snow late. This is still on the road even. This is the section that doesn't get clear until at least July, generally. And it is July 3rd. So if it's clear, it's been clear for a week maybe, if that. We're not even all the way through, so I shouldn't speak too soon. Let's see. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. It's only one drift. Oh, it's more than one. What was I saying? But we're going down, so it should theoretically get better, right? Like, that's got to just be hard packed as hell at this point. Yeah. Or I could dig right in like a fucking asshole. Oh, cool. That was not awesome. It's soft, like melting. No way. No way, dude. No way, dude. Don't fall over. I'm trying to take a cool picture. Oh, thanks, man. That helps a lot. Whew. I just dug a hell of a hole is what happened. Piece of cake. Piece of cake. I'm going to go around. Oh, that bush was unexpected. Come on, baby. Nailed it. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. I got real tunnel vision, didn't see it. Oh, I have people going way around, huh? So what was I saying about it holding snow? Yeah, first week of July, still snow. So just snow. Just snow. On the backside here, there's some shenanigans. Probably some ruts. I'm hitting something there. Yeah, so if you're going up and there's a drift like that, I would normally avoid it. Going down, there's a good chance it is actually getting better sometimes. Sometimes. Yeah, see, it's already better. One little slibbity slobbity right here, and then water is all. Yep, golden. Golden. Oh, except for that is not awesome. Oh wait, we can just go on the side. Yeah, looks a lot better over here. There we go. Back into the sun. Yeah! All right, some drama. I was worried there wouldn't be any. I didn't get enough pictures. Thanks, man. Three Sisters, baby. That's why you're out here. See that stuff. Touch the mountains. And if this rear shock survives this trip, I'm going to be shocked. But it'll be ready for Paul's magic touch one way or the other. And, you're probably going to hear that and be like, oh, so the Ibex suspension sucks? It might be fine for an average-sized rider. Keep in mind that I'm 260 pounds right now. So if you're 200, that's 60 less pounds on the rear shock. So, So this is the Tam MacArthur rim here. And the lake is right in there. So we'll go up there, see if the store's open. Could be. You're hitting the bump stop? Oh, Oh, okay, I figured out what I'm hitting. So the good news is, I know Lori from Outback, so I'm going to just send him pictures of this and what happened, and my guess is they will do something about it. Part of it is just, as I was saying, I'm way too heavy for this rear spring, and it's the bottoming, so the tire's catching the bar, because the bar's supposed to be back here, and pushing it up, but these are also just heavy, and so they're squeezing in. It's the combination of the two. You can see that's supposed to be off of the exhaust, and it isn't. So I don't know, it may melt my strap, but...
Well, look how far that's off of vertical on this side.
Yeah, it's very, very bendy. Like this thing's all fatigued and bent in, and that one is. This is not an indictment of Outback Motortech. I'm overpacked, but my guess is when I show them this, they will take it as feedback and see what they can do about it. But I don't know. So we got to get to the bottom of the hill for sure, and then when I get down there, I guess we'll take another look and decide. There's nothing really difficult, except for the most difficult part is next. That's fun. The sandy, rocky stuff. I don't know. It just depends on how much worse it's getting. But I bottomed it. I mean, I must have rubbed 25 times, and I was even like going kind of slow. So I don't know. But that's these are the things that happen on BDRs. It's pretty funny though that it's not the Chinese bike that failed. It's the aftermarket parts so far. But again, this is not an indictment of Outback. Could have been my fault. I don't know.
You're having trouble with your Garmin. That's a massive company.
Yeah, my Garmin is garbage, but they always give me trouble. Well, just got to get to the bottom, and then we'll take another look and see, I guess. Makes sense to do the prudent thing, which is go to town, because Sisters Moto is there. Not that they have panty racks, but if I need anything motorcycle-wise, they are there. So I guess let's just go down, skip the hard part of this section, and have lunch and think about it. I'm going to avoid all the rocky technical side jaunts down this trek, and we're just going to take the easy way down. And then I'm actually going to message Lori at Outback and just ask him about it. I don't know what to do. We have alternatives. This is the closest we are to home, almost, on the entire route. So when we go down Highway 20 to continue Section 5 after Potato Hill, that's the closest to my house we get. So I'm about an hour from home. So I could absolutely go home and switch bikes if I had to. Come back on the 390, which would be funny, because that's exactly where I started riding the BDR on the 390 last time. But you know, well, Ducfan's got 2 more days, so I kind of doubt he wants to go home just because my luggage rack is weird because I'm fat and jump it too much and put too much gear in. Not a great combination. Look at this, man. They're right there. Like, this is... I love coming up here because those mountains are like 10 miles away as the crow flies, and it is just absolutely beautiful here. Amazingly beautiful. That is Jefferson, Three Finger Jack, Mount Washington. The Three Sisters, Broken Top's over there, but they are so close. Okay, new plan. Sisters Moto is a very popular motorcycle destination here in town, in Sisters. It's Thursday. It is a holiday weekend, but it's Thursday. I'm gonna go see if they're open. Maybe they can help with the problem. We can just keep going. We don't have to deal with all this switching bike shenanigans. So, you know, if you're gonna break something, being close to a place that works on bikes is, I guess, a lucky stroke. So let's go there first because maybe they can fix it and we'll just grab lunch while they do. Dude. Oh. We may need to get in here. I don't know. We'll see. I don't even know if they do repairs here. Hey, I have a weird problem. We're doing the BDR, and I have thoroughly bent the crap out of my pannier racks. And I don't have a pry bar or anything, but we were just right outside of town, so I don't suppose that's something you guys would...
Just pry back?
I mean, do whatever you think is best to make it as sturdy as possible, but bending it back out would be a great start. Oh my God! Whoa, let me take a picture of that. That would help me like that. Oh yeah. Yeah, thanks. Oh, it's bending.
Remember, bending eventually means braking.
It's okay, it just has to get through the trip. Take these off when I get home.
I have bent a piece of metal or two before where I thought I'll bend it just a little bit more.
That's better.
This is better for sure.
Is that one better?
Well, I mean, it's better than it was. I don't know if it's...
Right, I want to know which one we should focus our efforts on prying. I mean, I'd like to get it off the exhaust. It's just a little harder to get to this one where I need to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that moved it a lot.
Right, I don't even take any more of your time. Yeah, this was a much better idea than going to camp and trying to hammer it with a rock. All right, well, I have to give the massivest shout out and thank you to Sisters Moto. Parker wouldn't let me pay him for that, so he spent a good half an hour bending my situation back into a reasonably useful shape, and very kind and generous of him on what I know is definitely a busy day because tomorrow's the 4th of July. So big shout out to them, and if you're doing the BDR, stop in even if you don't need anything. They have a huge selection of gear, and they work on bikes. So he said they do a lot of mid-BDR tire changes for people. It's a great place. We're right here between section 4 and 5, so you're right in the middle of the BDR. Perfect location. And they're barely off of it. Like, you're not even half a mile from the route right here. Pretty cool. All right, we're gonna go get some food now. Get some batteries charged up, move some weight out of those bags, and figure out what the next move is. What time is it now? 1 o'clock. Not bad. We're not even that far behind. Crazy. Oh yeah, Sisters is awesome. Brisket sandwich at the ski inn, which is probably boring if you watch a lot of my videos because I stop here every time. The food is good. It's right on the route, and yeah. Did I mention the food is good? They have beer if you want one. You get to sit like with the air flowing through. It's nice and cool.
Brisket. Oh yeah, let's go.
So good. Okay, got the same thing.
So we're out here on section 5. We're gonna do, for sure, all the way to Big Lake, which is the most fun part. And then at Big Lake, we'll decide if we had enough sand or not, because we can skip a few miles and get on the highway and go to Highway 20, Lava Lake Snow Park, where it meets it. It's just gonna depend on how this is handling the whoops and everything, and how Ducfan's feeling on his stock tires in the sand, because we're gonna get a lot of sand up here. So this road, Section 5, look at, is absolutely washboarded out in a way that it definitely was not last year. Yeah. And it's like bad, like I have to stand up or I'm gonna hit the back or the rear wheel on the thing every time. Okay, yeah, right here. I tried to make a point, and it's one of the best sections so far. And I just saw a couple side-by-sides just ripping through here. And, you know, I always blame side-by-sides for everything. Partially because they're to blame for everything. It just, as a user group, they tend to have less respect for the outdoors because they're just looking for a dirt road. They don't care about the forest as much. And anyone can get one. There's, you know, no skill required. So people just end up out here, no prerequisites whatsoever. And that's me being a little bit of a snob and, you know, whatever, and facetious to a degree. But somebody did point out to me in the comments not that long ago. They were like, well, all tires do it because whoops and the washboard are caused by harmonic vibrations of the suspension. And, you know, as it small bump forms, and then as you go down into it over and over, your tires dig in at that spot, and it just builds bigger and bigger bumps. And that's true. I guess I don't really know the physics, but I believe them. But my response to that is, and who do you think does it worse, the 2 skinny tires or the 4 big fat ones? Because yes, we may contribute as motorcyclists to a degree. Oh, this is chunky still, but we're not doing as much damage as our 4-wheeled friends are. So just saying. Whew. Yeah, wow. But you see the washboard, like this was a fun, fast road. Now it sucks. It just kicks your ass. I can't sit down or I'll bottom it on this now. And like this was always a chunky section, but now it's just whoop, 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 the whole way. Now it's got to be graded to fix it. So annoying. Here's the current plan. We're right here. That's the base of Cache Mountain. Here, I'll zoom in a little. So this is that really fun sandy section all the way to Big Lake. And then this section comes around the back to Highway 20. We're just going to go to Big Lake and go out to Highway 20, so we're only missing like not even 10 miles. We'll get plenty of sand and fun stuff in before then, and then pop around to the snow park and head towards Detroit. But first, a little bit of chunk, and then the sandy goodness begins. Chunky, chunky. This is not a great section right after you decided that you wanted to minimize huge bump impacts on your suspension. Yeah, there's some chunk. Quite a few bumps, actually. It's like harmonically, like just pounding that crossbar, I bet. So we'll see how it looks after this. That'll be a really good indicator if it's getting worse by riding it or not. Fortunately, the rest of the trail, the rest of the route, the BDR, is a lot easier. It's just gravel roads mostly. Look at that mountain. Beautiful. Oh, what a state. Oh man, I love it here, dude. I love it here. I stare at that all day. So cool. Pretty good views on this section. That's why. Well, this used to be one of my favorite roads ever on Earth. I kind of hate it now. Yeah, this is why we're not going all the way around, because I can't even go fast. Which is not good when I have sand that I need to plow through, like that right there. Well, I just checked it, and it's not getting any worse back there, I don't think. If it is, it's not getting worse quickly. So the little tiny hits are not ruining it. But, yeah. Yeah. I was going to say this is the most sand I've had this Ibex in, but it isn't because I took it to Death Valley. The most sand I've had it in loaded. Okay, I'm going ahead. Well, I was trying to stay behind him, but if he's waddling, that's going to slow me down too much. Yo! Trying to sit down so I can be on camera, but not going to happen in here, I don't think. A few spots maybe. Right here's not bad. Yeah, like this, I got to slow way down or I will bottom it for sure. Man, I love this road when I can ride at full speed. It was so fun on the 390. That was a blast. I was just like airing off of all these rocks and stuff. Like a goon, like an idiot. Oh yeah. Gotta just unspring your weight. There's some step downs. Those are fun. I do love the way this bike sounds. And the low end is so much better than the 390. It's easy to just putt because you can. 390, I gotta keep the revs up to keep the tire spinning to have enough torque to spin it if I need to. This is just powers right there. Twin, plus fueling, plus just the characteristics of that street bike engine on the 390. Not that this isn't a street bike engine, because it's what's in the NK, 450 NK and SS. That's a little loose. A lot of side-by-side tracks here, just saying. I remember this being kind of hairy. Yeah, it's definitely deeper here. Yeah, sandy. Oh, oh, the tires is like, what if I go 45 degrees to the left, but you just keep going straight? Wouldn't that be fun? Like, not really. What an adventure. So this section, plus up around the backside, is one of the toughest parts, and it's like 20 miles long, so that's why I say Oregon is just consistently difficult. because it's not like a quarter mile apart. It's like miles of stuff that is intimidating, like black volcanic sand roads and the like, and whoops where you can't go fast without destroying your rear racks. Chunky. Where are we going? Right here up the middle. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Keep going, keep going. Oh, shit. Oh, I had a rock roll to the right there. That scared the piss out of me. Oh, I only saved it because I saw it coming. Okay, this is actually really deep. Yep, yep, yep. Very, very deep. Oh. Okay, this and the bottom of this hill up here are the worst parts. So let's look at the beautiful lake in Mount Washington. There's a little lake right there. Now there is an alternate harder section that goes around the back. So it goes up the expert section and then it goes around the back of Cache Mountain. And I did that last fall on the 300L. So if you want to see that, just go watch that video. I dropped my bike out there, crashed into a manzanita bush. It was, I got it on 2 cameras. It was kind of spectacular, to be honest. All right, the bottom of this is real sandy, so we're gonna charge through it. Yeah, the intersection there is no fun. Here we go. You can see where the side-by-side tracks are super fucking deep, dude. Okay, so this is basically the end of the sandy part. Like I said, we're gonna skip the next 10 miles of this, hit the highway, go out to to Lava Lake Snow Park, and then get back on the BDR there. So we'll catch up with you when we get back on the route in 20 minutes or so. I scouted this spot last year, and honestly, it's so close to the road that I thought I'll never actually get to camp there because it is gorgeous. We're right on the river, a little close to the highway, a little close to the road, but that's the only disadvantage because there's the river, there's a fire pit, which we can't use, a couple pretty decent tent sites, and not super close to town, but Marion Forks is only 7 miles away, and Edana is probably 15 or 20, so Edanha, I've never actually heard it pronounced correctly. So I think we're gonna stop here for the night. We are on section 5 and camp, and maybe if some beverages came back, we'll drink a couple of those when we have our delicious bag meals for dinner. So I mentioned earlier that this video is sponsored by Motocamp Nerd, and it is, and I want to just show you the best value motocamping kit because I'm running the whole thing, except I forgot my freaking pillow, but you guys have seen the pillow before, my favorite pillow of all time. The first part of any camping kit is the tent. I've got the Alps Mountaineering Helix 2. This is shockingly, so it doesn't pack down as small as a bike packing tent. You got to pay twice as much for that, but it's pretty skinny. And honestly, if I took the poles out of here, I could really compress this down or just shove it in my bag. So the poles are regular length, which is why it is the longer bag than you're used to, but it's pretty skinny. I've definitely had ones, 2-person backpacking tents that were like massive. So this is a great kind of, it's not entry level, it's good quality and inexpensive. It's a backpacking ultralight tent, great for moto camping. So I'm gonna set it up and show you what it looks like. Okay, next up, Big Agnes Divide. Insulated sleeping pad. It's yellow. You may recognize this from the video I made for Motocamp Nerd where I ran it over with my 4Runner and a motorcycle and it didn't pop. And not only is this the same model as that sleeping pad, this is that sleeping pad. So I've continued to use it. This thing has a great R value. It's a 3-season pad and it inflates to like 2.5 or 3 inches thick. It's super comfortable. That's a bee. There's a fucking bee in my tent. Great. That thing is fast. Bee, get out of my tent, bro. My tent lighting up, but inflated. Let me show you my sleeping bag. This one I'm excited about. So you guys know, many of you that have been around for a long time, my ongoing love affair with the Diamond Park. Big Agnes, well, they stopped making the Diamond Park, sadly. Not because it wasn't a hit, it was Motocamp Nerd's biggest seller, but the new sort of chemical requirements, they stopped making it. But they did remake the Echo Park, which is what this is. This is Echo Park 35. There's also a 20. Kind of wish I had the 20, but I think I'll be okay in the 35 tonight. Perfect. Okay, now look at this. attached to the pad, right? You cannot roll off of this pad, and it turns into a bed. So you can just leave the top unzipped, and it's like a quilt, boop. Or you can zip it up, and it's more like a mummy bag. And my favorite thing is it's super roomy in here. You can roll around, do the alligator death roll, whatever you need to do. So pretty awesome. Love this bag. So I'll link all this. I'm not going to spend all night trying to sell you products, but I do love this bag, and I think you will too if you ever use it. Unfortunately, I forgot the pillow. Nemo Pillow is my favorite pillow. It's great because it's got a foam layer on top, and then you can inflate it, and then you can put stuff underneath. So I'm not going to have that tonight, but I did bring my arrows. So I brought my backup pillow, but not my regular pillow. And I'm just going to use my packing cube full of clothes as a pillow. Better than nothing. Almost forgot to mention, the kit also comes with the Jetboil Java kit, so you can make coffee and cook food, which we're going to use later to cook food. So there you go. The conquering hero returns, confidently riding down the driveway. He's got ice. I see ice. That is a good sign, because that means brewskis. That means brewskis.
Hope you like super hoppy IPAs.
Looks like a box of Coors Lights to me. Tonight's delicacy, chicken teriyaki rice. So exciting. So we're gonna boil 1 1/3 cup water with our handy dandy Jetboil, which also is part of the kit. Hey, this new one is a hell of a lot better. The old one, the igniter worked like for 2 weeks. Okay, watch your hand, watch your hand, watch your hand. Okay, it's in there. And now, stir. What? I know. Probably should not have used the full 1 1/3. It usually is pretty runny when you do. I like to short it just a little, but the measuring cup on the Jetboil doesn't have a 1/3 cup indicator, so I just eyeballed it. Man, there's freaking carrots in here. I hate cooked carrots. Gross. Let's see. Chicken teriyaki rice. I've had this one before, I think. I remember thinking it wasn't very teriyaki-y. It's a little teriyaki, but it's not usually so, like, saucy. Almost looks like there's a cream sauce. A ton of vegetables, so if you're into that kind of thing, I'm generally not. But, not bad. Warm. Cooked through, seems like. You know, I've had worse. So you're eating pasta marinara out of a bag.
Correct.
Also a peak refuel, because I'm not a connoisseur of backpacking meals, but I've had a few different brands, and I definitely like that peak the best. Yeah, that looks a lot better than what I ate.
A little crunch.
Still crunchy. That's the same one I had on the NorCal BDR, and I couldn't get the meat to hydrate all the way.
And I added an extra 1/4 cup of water, and it didn't make a difference. Weird. The noodles are good.
Yeah, pasta works well, I feel like. How was your day of riding today? How have you felt about the BDR so far?
Some big parts of it are fun and fast and pretty interesting, and parts of it are pretty grueling. There's definitely some sections that I could do without. And unfortunately, there was a big section we did today that is one of my favorites, and it was really badly beaten up, and I gotta believe it's from side-by-sides. I don't know what else would do that.
I didn't tell him to say that.
It was washboarded to heck.
To heck?
Can I say?
Yes. If it's in the Bible, you can say if you want. He's just going to have to edit it out.
It was fucking washboarded as fuck. And
sorry, Jack.
usually it's a section you can go, 35 to 55 miles per hour pretty comfortably, and you just can't. I mean, it was rattling my teeth out of my head.
Yeah, no good.
And it seemed like I couldn't find a pace where I could stay on top of them. Maybe at like 90, but that's not really feasible.
Remind me, before I forget, in the morning before we leave, while the stuff's off the bike, to crank that preload down as far as it'll go.
I don't know what else it could be. It's definitely not 4x4s.
Yeah, it's
They've
not
been running
trucks.
those trails for decades.
No, it's the proximity to the OHV.
And it was not like that 9 months ago.
It was not. I will say, Oregon does not. It has some great scenery. Like today, Mount Washington, spectacular. But like the next two sections, you're mostly just looking at trees and gravel roads. Like if you stop at Olali, beautiful lake, that's all good. Tule Lake is pretty, but you're mostly just cruising through the forest until you get to, well, Olali, and then Summit Lake's really cool. And then once you hit Government Camp, the last section is just like the most incredible views of Mount Hood you've ever seen. So that'll be cool. But that's tomorrow's problem. Well, Mount Hood probably won't be tomorrow's problem unless we increase our pace significantly. But if we truly go until Saturday, then maybe. We'll find out. I don't know. It's a casual trip. It's casual. We're just casual. I'm casual. I'm breezy. You want that open? Oh, fuck. That's how you get skaters in there. They bite you all night. Don't want no skaters. It is day 3 of our Oregon BDR adventure. We are camped just off of Highway 22, about 30 miles from Detroit, probably, as on the route. If we were driving there, it's like, well, actually about 25 miles, so I guess it's about the same either way. We're into the easy part of the route now, so the hard stuff is mostly over. It should be easier cruising, which is good because my pannier rack situation has not improved. We did spend some time getting it fixed, and thanks again to the guys at Sisters Moto for helping with that. But I definitely bumped it a couple more times yesterday, and it kind of looks like it's almost exactly back to where it was when we started fixing it. So that rack's got to go when I get home, but I'm just trying to get through the rest of the trip. So this morning, I'm going to crank the preload up all the way on the rear shock, and then I'm going to move my heaviest gear out of the side panniers and into the duffel on top. Been a good trip. The bike has done well. I don't think, like, don't take the difficulties I'm having with that rack as an indictment of either the Ibex or the rack, the Outback rack. I sent Lori pictures of it, and he already offered to replace it. So Outback takes care of you, and their products are good. I'm just gonna enjoy my coffee. It's feeling like a 2-coffee morning. And then at some point, Ducfan will wake up. I don't know. It's early. Like, I woke up at 5:30. I guess I woke up at 5:30, stayed in bed till 6. It's 6:30 now. Now I'm going to quietly contemplate the meaning of life while I stare at this beautiful river and drink coffee. Yeah, we're good. Let's go. There is a gorgeous lake up here, so pretty pedestrian riding until then, but I'll definitely see you there. That spot's empty. No way. People just don't come up here or what? That spot's empty too? No way. No way. How is nobody camping here? So weird. So there's a spot over there on the north end. I don't see anybody. Like, if I was tent camping, I'd just put it under there. Definitely one of the highlights of this section. As you saw at camp, I cranked the preload way down in the back, and I don't want to speak too soon, but it already feels a lot better. So this problem I'm having is, I'm guessing in large part due to my own incompetence, because I always assume the dealers got everything adjusted where it's supposed to be when you pick up the bike, but there was no preload at all on the rear shock. And I'm no suspension expert, and I don't know, I really barely know what kind of does what. I don't even barely know which knobs to turn, but I know now that that was bad, so I thought I had put a whole bunch of preload into it, but that was because I thought I was cranking it down from where it's supposed to be, and it wasn't at all. I don't think there was any, so I've got about 1 inch of thread showing now on the back. That's quite a lot more preload, and it is significantly more resistant to bottoming and stiffer, so we'll see. But I haven't hit anything big. I'm trying not to on purpose, but I haven't accidentally bottomed it since this morning. Speak of the devil, yeah, when I hit a really big pothole. Made it to Detroit on the pavement. The problem is Detroit, the city's over there. We got to go all the way around the lake to get there, but there is a ton of camping, not on the paved part. There's some, but a ton of spots really easy to see in the last 10 miles or so before you hit this side of Detroit. So if you're ever out here worried about finding a camping spot, there was a ton of open spots, and it's the 4th of July, which is a very popular camping holiday. So if they're open now, they're going to be open. Something's going to be open no matter when you come through. There's another one. So if you're looking for a spot to camp, there is a ton between Highway 22 and Detroit. It is about lunchtime, and look at that. The food trucks are open. They should be. It's the 4th of July. Coffee truck's open. Well, there's a lot of people parked there if they aren't. Just saying. The restaurant is closed, and the other one burned down, so it's pretty much food trucks or convenience store. This is bullshit. Hey, pupper. I'd like your spot, unless you're oh, there's a guy sitting there. Okay. That explains it. Ooh, let's do circles. It's fun. I want to park by the shitter. Got gas. Headed up into the mountains. It's cloudy today. It's supposed to be like a high of 63. So that'll be the nicest riding weather I've done this in. My Garmin's trying to tell me there's a flash flood watch. I just don't think that's accurate. It's not even supposed to rain. What's up, bros? Section 6 might be the easiest section of the whole route. There's a lot of this just meandering forest roads. This is paved. We were just on a long gravel one. So if you wanted to go try a BDR section and you are wary of difficulty, Section 6 here would be a great place to start, honestly. It's not hard, and you can just take it slow and easy, and there's a couple really pretty things you can see. The Lolly Lake and some decent views up here, so, this isn't, I already made a video where I kind of showed the whole route as much as possible, so you can watch my BDR video from 2 years ago if you kind of want a sense of what every section and all the terrains you're going to encounter. I'm trying to just focus on the interesting riding this time, but I did just want to show you a little bit of this. And pass that on if you're looking for an easy starter section and you happen to be in Oregon. Head to Detroit, take it up and over to Government Camp. Pretty easy. There's one pretty decent mud hole up here, and then a couple kind of technical roads that have just been kind of washed down. Not out, just down. If I remember right, I was up here 2 weeks ago, but there's nothing else super crazy, so you could take your time, do it in a half day, or take the whole day if you wanted. So you get close to some of the mountains. We're in the Mount Jefferson Wilderness right now, so that is Mount Jefferson, and it's our last big peak before Mount Hood. Timber operation ahead. Look at all the ground squirrels, man. We're going right here. Yeah, looks like they're logging over there, so we're probably safe. Jefferson. I don't know what to say. It's just a gorgeous looking mountain, and I like looking at it. And it's nice running the route in this direction, south to north, because if you run it the other way, it'd be behind you. No good. You wouldn't get this view. Well, Ollie's up here on the right. It's a 5 mile out off the route, so there's a store there. There's a beautiful lake with a dock. There's cabins. There's a couple campgrounds. But based on what was happening in Detroit, I'm sure it's swarming with people today, so we're going to skip it on this trip. But if you need a store, they have a store. They even have cold beer. They have fridges that run off of propane and all kinds of stuff. So it's a good place to stop if you're out here, because there's really nothing between here and Government Camp. at all, honestly, other than the gas station just outside of government camp. That's weird that you just parked in the middle of the road and left like a step stool there. I don't know how I feel about it. There was a pull off right off to the side, so it just doesn't make sense. But you do you, boo. Oh yeah, oh, much stiffer now with everything cranked up. Good times. Good times. Ooh, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. It's a little chunky. A little funky. Yeah, some rocks. Seriously, the hardest part of this section is right in here. Oh, there's a jump I don't want to hit. Ah, good, it didn't hit. Didn't rub in the back. This Ibex is doing very well, though. I'm really pleased with it, aside from the mile-adjusted suspension. It's a pretty good BDR bike. It doesn't get all scary, heavy, and unwieldy in the gnarly stuff. I'm not saying we did anything super gnarly, but like in the sand and the rocky stuff and the stuff we dealt with in the first day, I don't know what I would have done super differently on a different lighter bike. So it's got a lot of confidence. There finally one. That's the first BDR I've seen since the first day. Yeah, on the first day I saw one guy pulled off to the side of the road. That's the first other person I've seen on a motorcycle. So we didn't see anybody yesterday at all. And it's 4th of July weekend, so it's super weird. That looks like a big bear track. You can see the individual toes and the pad. That or it's small Bigfoot. Oh, there it is! Beauty! Is there nobody camped right there? No way. There's nobody camped right here. That person's there's two more spots over there. One's more shady than this, but oh my God, there's nobody here. This spot is stupid cool. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Worth a stop anyway. Oh, I love this spot. Love it. Are they leaving? There's like nobody here. It's only 2 o'clock. I don't know if we're stopping. In the time I was standing there looking at the lake and the spot by the road, somebody pulled into the other spot farther back, the one that we wanted. We were thinking about staying here tonight, even though it's pretty early. So that sucks. Missed it by like a minute. So we're just riding around the backside of the lake just to see if there's anything intriguing that's not in the campground. Seems like the kind of place somebody would make a little something. And the road's not, oh no, it's gone. The road's not here. Wait, hold on. Nope, we're good. We're good. Yeah, I see nothing. I see nothing. Lame. Well, fun little side adventure, but I guess we're just gonna have to keep going. I have no idea what the camping options are out here. It's half the reason I just came home after my last trip up here, because I didn't even know where to start looking. This is an area I'm least familiar with, so sure, there's plenty of logging roads with landings at the end that we can, go up to. I just would like to have a nice spot, So this is a dam, and that is a lake, and there are a ton of people here. Humanity is everywhere. Look at all the people on the lake. Yeah, I just don't think. It's not a great weekend for easily accessible camping. It just sucks when you don't know where the hard-to-get-to stuff is, but we'll keep looking. Hey, there's Mount Hood. Ain't she pretty? That's a biggin'. Getting close now. I think it's chilly up here. Should be a lot warmer this time of day. A little concerned about overnight temperatures. I don't have my warmest bag. It's fine, but it's definitely not for close to freezing temperatures. I guess we'll find out. Okay, so here's the plan. We're at the gas station here on I think it's Highway 26. And about to Mount Hood. We're going to pass right by it. And there's just not any good sites, dispersed sites right now, because it's 4th of July back off of the main road. So we're going to actually go on to Bennett Pass and then start looking at side roads there, because there'll be a lot less competition. So it's only 10 miles from here. So we're going to head up there. So we'll complete Section 6. This isn't the end. It's government camp, which is like 2 or 3 miles up the road. Well, we'll complete that and then keep going on to Section 7. It's about 4 o'clock. It feels later. So plenty of time to get set up and figure everything out. Just like it's so dark because it's overcast. It feels like it's like 8, but it is not. Ran into a few fellow bikers here at the gas station. That was loud. That was awesome. The mountain is big. The big mountain. Yep, this is the Bennett Pass Snow Park. There is a toilet here at least. So that's good. Mount Hood is right there, kind of awesome. So Bennett Pass, gonna go to the viewpoint, the iconic viewpoint, and then honestly, we're trying to decide if we should go down to a lower elevation to camp because the best estimate I've seen up here is 42 degrees overnight, and my bag is a 35 degree bag, which means it's really a 50 degree bag. And I'm not gonna die, but I'm not going to be comfortable. The real problem is my companion here didn't even bring pants. So he can't even like sit around camp because he doesn't have a pair of pants. Because earlier in the week, the forecast was much warmer looking. So I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. My major concern was getting food and not having to eat my bag meal. And I just had a corn dog and frickin' burrito at the gas station, which to me is better than eating a bag meal and having to deal with all that. So I'm happy with that. I don't really care where we camp from this point. I am concerned up here. It's pretty windy and pretty high elevation, and the estimate I saw wasn't even 4 here. So I don't know. It's going to be worse out here, really. I don't know why. It's high clearance vehicles only. Does that include Subaru Outbacks? You know, it's like a medium clearance vehicle, I feel like, but makes you feel a lot less badass when 2 70-year-olds in a Subaru are on the same road as you. Not that this is super hard, but I don't know. I am not fully prepared. I could survive. I'm probably just going to end up in the tent in my sleeping bag though really quickly because it's chilly out here and the wind is blowing. So we may go where we can camp a little bit more comfortably. But first, we got to check out Mount Hood, and it's right up here. So let's get that shot, bro. Get that hero shot, bro. Now there was someone camping over here last time I was here. There isn't now. Holy sh! I'm gonna put my kickstand right on that rock because that's gonna work good. There's the mountain. Oh my God. So gorgeous right here. So cool. We're just gonna backtrack a little and find a campsite. A little lower elevation, I think. That'll be perfectly adequate. After a lot of backtracking, I found the site I was in earlier still unoccupied, so it's small, probably why it's not taken, but it'll be great for us. It's out of the wind and some protection if it actually rains. I don't think it's going to, and at a much lower elevation, like 1,500 feet lower. So this will work. I'm glad it was still here. Let me get a shot of your face before you clean that off, Batman. That looks great. Yeah. I try to get you to lead sometimes, but anyway, this is the spot. It's nothing spectacular, but it's a hell of a lot better than most of the roadside stuff we saw. And small enough, I guess, that nobody else wants it. So the road is literally right there, but at least there's trees between us and it. All the other spots were like pullouts on the side of the road. So I'm going to put my tent here.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get dusted when cars go by.
No, not like it would have been those other spots. And then Clear Lake is down there, not that far. I'm not going to walk down there, but there is a game trail over here, so we may have a deer or a bear visit us. Maybe a cougar stalking a deer. That'd be great. I hope that happens. That's exciting. It's exciting.
Want to feed the baby bears.
Yeah, I'll feed them my limbs. I just want to cuddle the baby bears. The mamas love that. Okay, let's try to put this tent up again. Also, I found my pillow, so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm not sure how I lost it. I don't have that much space in my bags. The forecast for here is 48 or 45, and we are at least 1,500 feet lower than we were. So, while camping on Bennett Pass would be neat, one, I don't even know if we'd have found a good spot, and two, it would have been cold. So, it's windy up there. So we're close to Clear Lake.
I have a feeling we would have made it all the way to Hood River if we just kept going before we found something good.
camp in the parking lot at the Hood River Best Western. Had to get another camp in at least. Cigars are a gross, disgusting habit. Don't smoke them. Also, I guess worth noting, we're smoking on the fire pit, which has a ring of probably 10 feet around it. No flammable vegetation. So.
Yeah, it's literally the 4th of July. This is probably one of the least dangerous things for forest fires that's happening in these woods right now.
Yeah, I still have all my fingers.
We literally saw a group with a fire.
Yeah, during the fire ban. Super cool. Super cool. Definitely do that.
Frustrating.
3 days. Good 3 days. A little bit of adventure. First day was challenging. Second day had all kinds of fun stuff. Snow, and then I broke my racks, and then I had to ride through some fun and not fun stuff.
I still think side-by-sides should be banned unless I'm driving it.
Yeah, there you go. You're the only responsible one.
Yep.
That's generally what people say about you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can't believe we got that spot last night. It's pretty cool. It's about 8:30. Woke up about 7. Slept a lot better. That second night thing that Grace talked about in that video we made for the motocamp channel about going out for multiple days. It's totally true. I slept way better. Did you sleep better last night?
Absolutely.
So you kind of get used to it and you're just tired. But it was cold, but I didn't get super cold. So I am glad. My feet were cold, so I'm glad we came down. I think it would have, another 5 degrees would have made a difference in that bag. So it was worth the backtracking that we did. The riding's been great. We're not going to continue on. We're just going to ride home this morning. But, 2.5 full days of riding. Well, 3 full days of riding if you include the half a day on the highway, which counts because I was tired. Thanks to Quad Lock for sponsoring this video and the trip. And thank God I had that Quad Lock because my GPS wasn't working half the time. So I was navigating with my phone almost exclusively. And, also was testing out the best value comfort kit, and I slept comfortably. Tent was plenty big enough, kept the rain off me when it rained. But yeah, I'll link all the stuff I used in the description if you're curious about gear. Very happy with the Ibex's performance, both on and off the road, so like that bike a lot. Obviously, Ducfan's happy with his $20,000 Desert X, so...
Yep, it's only held back by the rider.
That's right, yeah, the weakest component is between the handlebars and the seat. So we're going to pack up and get out of here. That's boring. I'm not going to bother to film it. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate you. And please do not forget to be excellent to each other. Oh, thank you.
Excellent!